Why do I cheer for this stupid hockey team?
Well, everyone, welcome to Kicking with Kipes. I'm Kipes, and today is going to be a one taker. We're going to go through the four games without any breaks in the stop. See, you guys usually wouldn't see me stumbling over my words, but we're going to go over all four games in rapid fire, rapid session. It's 11 o'clock on the dot here in Calgary, and yeah, I'm just fed up with my hockey team right now, and I don't feel like talking about it in front of a camera besides right now. But the Leafs, they lose 4-0 to the Ottawa Senators at home in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They get shut out with a chance to take the series and close it out. They had the chance in Ottawa. They had the chance tonight, and they just couldn't do it. Thomas Chabot, he scored his first of the playoffs, his first ever career playoff goal. Dylan Cousins, he scores his first ever career playoff goal, shorthanded. Tim Stützle, he scores his second career playoff goal of all time with the empty net. And then I think it was Kachuk that scored the nail in the coffin goal. They were all nail in the coffin goals because the Leafs didn't really ever have a chance in this game. Austin Matthews, he didn't play very good except for hitting the post. Mitch Marner, he didn't play very good. William Nylander, he didn't play very good. JT, John Tavares, didn't play very good either. What else to say about this team? The Lawton, Lorentz, and Yarncroke line, they look very good together. They are always creating chances. They get all the defensive zone faceoffs, and then they always create it into offensive time. It just seems like they are the only ones working their butts off. Pacioretty, he shouldn't be seeing the ice ever again in a Maple Leafs uniform after these two performances. He's been in the two losses that the Leafs have had. Put Robertson back in as you go to Ottawa. There's no reason why you shouldn't, unless there's an injury. Yeah, nothing to say. Extremely disappointing from the Leafs in this game. I feel bad for everybody that had to pay money to go to that game. The Leafs deservedly got booed off the ice. It's a pathetic performance. They play Thursday in Ottawa. That is a must-win game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. If they don't win that game, Game 7, I will live stream, and we might see the downfall of all my hopes and dreams. But that is it for the Leafs and the Senators. Sorry to start off on such a bummer, but we are doing a no stoppage pod today. Next, the Hurricanes and the Devils. Double overtime victory for the Carolina Hurricanes. They scored, let's see, 4 minutes and 17 seconds into the double overtime period. 4 periods fully completed. And yeah, Sebastian Aho, he wins it on the power play in double overtime. It was a 4-minute, a double minor penalty to Dawson Mercer, I think it was, of the New Jersey Devils for high sticking, what's his name? Number 82 on Carolina, Kotkaniemi. He got a stick right to the eye. It looked pretty painful, to be honest. And yeah, he skated right down the dressing room, didn't really have much to go on. And he obviously didn't come back because the Carolina Hurricanes scored very quickly into that power play. The biggest takeaway from this game is that the Devils, they had a 3-0 lead in this game, 10 minutes into this game, and heading into the second period. Who would have thought that the Carolina Hurricanes would have come back in this game? Definitely nobody. I saw 3-0. I turned off my phone and said, yep, that's it for that game. It's going back to New Jersey for Game 6. That's not happening. Carolina is in the second round awaiting their next opponent, either the Washington Capitals or the Montreal Canadiens. No matter who that is, it's going to be a red and white and black. It's going to be a very good series no matter who the Carolina Hurricanes play, and I honestly don't know who would win between. I think Carolina would easily beat Montreal, and I think Carolina-Washington would be an unbelievably good series, so it's going to be fun. Let's go to the next game. Another game that happened in overtime, the Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights win that one 3-2 in overtime thanks to Nick Howden. Nick Howden? Brett Howden? Brett Howden. I don't know which one's Nick. Nick Hague. Brett Howden scores in overtime for the Vegas Golden Knights after the Minnesota Wild. They thought they won the game with about a minute left in the third period. Ryan Hartman was celebrating big time. I would have too, but it was just a hair offside. The goal gets called back. They go to overtime, and Vegas steals it from them. Philip Gustafson, he started in net for the the Minnesota Wild, and he had to leave. Did not start the third period due to being sick. Marc-Andre Fleury, the flower, he had to go in net for the third period and actually looked very good. He had zero chance on the overtime goal by Howden. There is nothing to blame him, but you can expect Gustafson to be back in net for the next game. One standout, Matt Boldy of the Minnesota Wild is having an unbelievable playoffs. He scored his fifth goal of the playoffs, and he is an exceptionally talented player. I'm not falling in love, but I am becoming a big fan of this guy, even though he is American and he plays for Minnesota. Those are a divisional rival of the Calgary Flames and an American big rival of Canada, but yeah, he is a huge key part of that Minnesota Wild team moving forward, and boy, oh boy, is he a special player. Fourth and final game of the day, the stinky Edmonton Oilers. They actually win on the road, and actually, they only let one goal in the net, and that was the first goal of the game to Andrei Kuzmenko, former Calgary Flame. Kuzmenko having a pretty darn good playoffs. This is his third goal of the playoffs, and that was pretty much it for the LA Kings. That goal was in the second period, so it was 0-0 heading into the second period. Calvin Pickard was in net once again for the Edmonton Oilers and looked pretty darn solid. So you can expect him to be back in net in Edmonton for Game 6. Evander Kane, he picks up his second goal of the playoffs for the Oilers. My Uncle Stan will be very happy about this victory. It's a huge one. Matthias Janmark, he also picks up his second goal of the playoffs. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he picks up his second goal of the playoffs on the empty net. The Oilers, I got to admit, that's a very impressive win on the road in LA, and they're going to take that momentum back to Edmonton, and it is scary because I predicted the LA Kings to win this series in 6, and that is impossible to happen. Now they can only win in 7 games, and I have my very high doubts that this series is coming back to LA. I would love it to, because I need the Edmonton Oilers to not make it to the next round, because that would just be awesome to talk about at work. That is all 4 games quickly talked about and wrapped up for you. Sorry, it's not too much detail, but I am not in the mood after the Maple Leafs game. I almost didn't make a video because I was scared that I was going to say bad words. Let's just put it that way. But I have my some nieces and nephews watching this, so I got to be careful with what I say. Reese? Nope, the dog is asleep. Nothing else to say about that. Leafs Sens on Thursday. We got, I think, 3 or 4 games tomorrow. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow for predictions and recaps. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.